Alright, welcome to the video. Going over lesson 1.1.4. We covered in 2000, on August 28th, 2019 in regular Math 6. And this is an introduction to factors and common factors. We'll get into multiples tomorrow. We started off looking at the warm-up on page 39. This formula talks about factor pairs. And when we talk about pairs, we talk about two things, right? Pair is two of something, and factor means to multiply. So we're looking at two numbers when multiplied together, give me another number, or this number here. So we did 42 is 1 times 42, 2 times 21, 3 times 14, 6 times 7. Now we could go to 7 times 6, but then we're going to start repeating ourselves. So we went to the next page, and we'll come back to that other one, and I talked to you about factors being the building blocks of things, right? So factors are what you multiply together to get something bigger. So again, pairs of factors, we looked at 16, all right? So we have 16 is 1 times 16, and 2 times 8, and 4 times 4, all right? Now, when we are listing pairs of factors, we're using multiplication sign, all right? Now, when I want to list all the factors, I'm going to use a comma. So I take this and I do a horseshoe around the bin. So I list them in order from least to greatest. So 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. Notice I don't list 4 more than once. I just list it once. And that's my list of all factors. So again, listing uses a comma. The factor pairs uses multiplication, the x. All right. And then we went on to this slide where we talked about common factors. So now we're going to put it together. Okay, we have 12 and 15, and we need to figure out what they have in common. So I do my factor pairs for 12. 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. My factor pairs for 15. 1 times 15 and 3 times 5. And then I do the horseshoe to list them out. So here's my list of 12. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. And my list for 15 is 1, 3, 5, and 15. Okay, so step 1, we're done. We listed all the factors of 12, and we listed all the factors of 15. Step 2 says, list the common factors. So I look back at my list. Notice how 15 and 12 both have 1 in common, and they both have 3 in common. So I circle them, and that would be in my list. I have 1 and 3. It's possible that there's going to be more, but in this case, there's only 2 numbers, and it's 1 and 3. And then, what's the greatest common factor? Another word for greatest is biggest. And we're not talking about the most awesome number ever, as in greatest. We're talking about the biggest. So look at your list of common factors. We got 1 and 3. Which of those is a bigger number? Okay, you probably all would tell me 3 is a bigger number than 1, so that means that is your biggest common factor. Again, it's the biggest of the numbers they have in common as factors. So our GCF, our greatest common factor, is 3. All right, and your assignment was to do page 49. We're going to do a 1A, B, C, and D in the practice section. And I got you started here. I want you to do all the factors for 18. So list the pairs of factors. I did the hard one, 1 times 18, and same with 30, 1 times 30. Then you need to go down the list. And don't forget, listing does not include the multiplication sign. It includes commas. So I would list out here all my factors using commas to separate them. Same with 30. And then here, look at your two lists. What do you have for 18? What do you have for 30? What numbers do they both have? That means they are in common. All right? And then for D, look at your list of what's in common. Just this one right here. What do they have in common? The biggest number that they had in common is their GCF. And then you're done. All right? Feel free to watch this video as much as needed. Thank you for watching, and have a good rest of your day.